I married a widow, then found her dead husband hiding in our basement. So, Thomas literally stumbles into this seriously mysterious, yet strangely enchanting woman, Laura, who honestly looks like she just stepped out of a fairy tale. Like, you know the type of ladies that seem plucked right from a storybook? The ones with that eerie aura that instantly makes you question if they're too good to be true, or if there's some dark twist just waiting to unfold. Like the kind who has an eerie aura around her, and there's definitely more beneath the surface than meets the eye. Like the kind with an eerie and hidden past just waiting to jump out and send shivers down your spine. So it turns out she's a widow, and definitely not the type you'd find out at clubs getting wild and crazy, because her late hubby, John, met a tragic end in a horrific house fire 2 years ago, leaving her beyond shattered. I mean, just think about the heavy burden of all that grief. And get this. Seriously, she wears his charred wedding ring around her neck like it's some dark, twisted talisman of lost love. I mean, it feels like she truly believes it protects her from the haunting memories of that horrific fire, and maybe even the demons that could be lurking just beneath the surface, waiting to pounce. Thomas slowly helps her heal. After a year of dating, they get married. They move into her old house, which she had avoided since the accident. She boldly proclaims she's finally feeling ready to start over, as if moving on from that kind of darkness is just as easy as flipping a light switch, when we all know that ain't how life works, right? But honestly, there's this creepy vibe hanging in the air, like the walls of the house are just whispering dark, twisted secrets that should have been left buried 6 feet under. There's something seriously sinister lurking in every single shadow, you feel me? After moving in, Thomas hears strange scratching sounds at night. Food goes missing from the kitchen. Eventually, he stumbles upon some muddy footprints in the hallway. But wait for it, only one set looks even vaguely dirty, and it's definitely not his, which is just beyond creepy. Laura says, "It's rats! I told you this place had pests. And don't open the basement. It's dangerous, rotten wood and mold." That basement door's locked up tighter than Fort Knox with a heavy-duty padlock that screams, "Ancient evil lurking behind here." I mean, seriously, who even keeps a door like that unless they're hiding something absolutely terrifying? She keeps the key on her necklace. Thomas is suspicious, but still trusts her. For now. And a photo of our wedding, dinner on the wall. Laura leaves town to visit her mother. Thomas uses a bolt cutter to open the basement. Inside, he makes some seriously disturbing discoveries: a sleeping bag, half-eaten food, a flashlight, a burner phone. But the absolute worst part? It's like waking up to find their cozy little home is actually a gateway to some horrifying truth lurking just below the surface. On the wall, he's hit with a seriously unsettling sight: dozens of stalker-level printed photos of him and Laura, all captured surreptitiously through their windows, like a twisted, creepy gallery showcasing her obsession. You've got to be kidding me. One is from their wedding dinner, clearly taken from inside the house. He hears movement, but finds nothing. So when Laura finally rolls back in, Thomas doesn't hold back one bit, confronting her head on because he's desperate for answers, like he needs them to breathe. She looks at the photos and her face goes ghostly pale. Then she just breaks down, crying her heart out. Sometimes I pretend he's still watching over me. It helps me cope. Maybe I put the photos there. I don't know anymore. She talks about grief, therapy, flashbacks. Thomas feels torn, disturbed, but also deeply sorry for her. Despite the shocking revelations, he decides against pressing charges, thinking maybe she just needs a hand reaching for sanity. He starts to think that maybe she just needs a little help, you know what I mean? Thomas installs a camera in their bedroom. For 2 nights, nothing. But on the third night, he watches in horror. A man crawls out of a hatch in the floor. He sits on the edge of the bed, gently strokes Laura's hair, then disappears into the dark again. Thomas freezes the video. It's John, the dead husband, still alive, living beneath their house. Thomas storms into the basement during the day. Behind a false wall, he finds a small, hidden room. And John. John is disoriented, paranoid, and believes the war is still happening. Laura arrives and breaks down. She confesses, there was no fire. John had a mental breakdown and disappeared. She faked his death so she wouldn't lose him to the psychiatric system. She built the room, kept him alive, told no one, not even her family. She thought she could balance both lives, but now, like everything is seriously spiraling out of control, turn to live in the basement. Thomas packs up and leaves. He threatens to go to the police, but Laura begs for mercy. A week later, he gets a creepy envelope in the mail. Inside, a photo of him and Laura sleeping. Written in red ink. Now it's your turn to live in the basement. Thomas runs to check his doors. Everything is locked, but when he turns around in a panic, the basement door's wide open.